raised very important points, and that's what Kenyans need to hear. That it should reach a point of liberation. We need to liberate this country from our corrupt leaders who just think of themselves.
You know, Guru, just before you continue, I forgot to add this, and maybe you'll touch on it. People need to know Gachagua is not contesting to be the president of Kenya. Why is he the center of discussion? He's not even said that I will be the president of the Republic of Kenya. He is only saying that people of Mount Kenya, the same way Nantembeya is talking about the Luo unity, the same way Raila Odinga is talking about the Luo community coming together, and all these leaders is talking about their community. The same language, when you cross to Kambani, the Wiper leader is saying, sisi kama Wakamba, sisi kama jamii ya Wakamba, sisi kama jamii ya Wakalenjin, sisi kama jamii ya Waluo. You know, this is what has been going on. Ayamburi, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Mzalendo and Bonnie. I just have some few points here I would like to raise. That why I'm saying we need a moment of liberation is that, number one, we need to liberate ourselves from the corrupt leaders who just care about themselves and about how much money they are going to steal from us. And also we need to liberate ourselves from ourselves because we are so tribal, such that even when we have a good person, if he does not come from the large tribes, he will not get people to vote for him. Bonnie, I heard that the former Chief Justice Maraga has shown his interest to become the president of Kenya. But I was asking myself, how many Kenyans are prepared to abandon one of their own and support someone who has the vision for Kenya? And when I say this, I'm not just talking about Maraga. Because in Kenya, if you don't have money, the people of Kenya will not listen to you, because we vote for the one who has given us money and the one who is driving one of the most modern car and the most powerful car, and the one who has come with chopper. Kuna wakati, one of the leaders in central Kenya said that there is a saying, I think it is the Bible, which says that a leader comes from above. And when he was coming with a chopper, he used to tell people, where have I come from? I have come from above, because he came with a chopper. And those are the kind of leaders that makes us happy. And those are the leaders that we embrace. Bonnie, I would like you to know that in Kenya, we have 47 counties. Kenya is a very small country of around 55 million people, but it has 47 governors, 47 senators, 47 women reps, and hundreds of members of parliament. I think they are above 300 members of parliament and thousands of the MCAs. That is draining the economy. So when I listened to Raila Odinga and William Ruto talk of reviving and implementing the NADCO report, I was perplexed, because the NADCO report, majorly, it is talking about increment of executive position. Those are political positions. Whereas we were saying that Punda amechoka. This donkey has been crying because it has been overloaded. It has been overworked. We are not able to sustain the large government of thieves, but they want to increase more and more positions, because if it is in NADCO report, there was Prime Minister and I think 2 more deputy prime ministers. They were broadening the executive positions. USA has, I think, around 50 states. USA has more than 350 million people. They only have 50 governors, around 50 governors. Whereas a tiny country like Kenya has 47 governors who are paid almost higher or even higher. And when you include the other marupurupu that they get from the government, they get more than a governor in America. So for us, we were saying we need to reduce the governors, we need to reduce the county governments, the counties to around 8 of them. But for them, they are saying, no, we have to increase more and more. And maybe that's what they call devolution. So this constitution of 2010 was not tailored to fit our economy. It was not tailored to fit our country. It was not tailored to help us develop the jobs or create jobs for the unemployed. It does not fit our country. That is how I see it. So any leader who is telling us that we should be increasing the executive positions is not good for Kenya. And I also want to say this. People might think that I am saying this because Gachagua is not in government. I remain steadfast in what I stand for. Even before they joined Ruto, I was saying we don't have the right structures of governance. We don't need all these county governments. There are so many for Kenya. Kenya is a very small country with very limited resources. And the more leaders we have, the more thieves we have, because most of them, they are there just to steal from us. I know there might be remnants, but I don't think Ruto is a remnant. I don't think Raila Odinga is a remnant. Neither do I think Gachagua is a remnant. These people, what they know is to eat and keep for their children and the generations of their families, not for Kenya. So, Bonnie, when I talk of we need liberation, it has reached a point whereby Kenyans, we must know that we are on our own. We don't have anybody who is fighting for us. All of them, I have come to know, they are just fighting for themselves and their families. I think it's the high time we start crying to God as Kenyans for liberation, to set that one leader who will be sent from God, direct from God, to come and help the nation of Kenya. Because it seems these ones are already comfortable with how we have been doing things. They are used to corruption. It is normal. We are going there to eat. We want to have someone with a different mindset. It reached the point in the nation of Sudan when people were conducting themselves the way the Kenyans leaders conduct themselves. And the army got tired. And they said, no, we have to do away with this trash of leaders. One day, they just woke up one day, and the army arrested all of them, put them on tracks, and sent them to jail. Up to date, they have never released them. And Sudan has been quiet from that time. And I know they will come up with good structures of leadership. The danger of going that route is even the people who might do that, we don't know their motive. But Kenya, we need change. And we as Kenyans, we need to get tired, and we need to reach a point whereby we have to agree. We have been doing things the wrong way. We have been voting for criminals, thinking that we are voting for leaders to go and help us. Those of us who have been living in Western countries, we know what it means when we talk about government. We know what it means when we talk about good infrastructures, good roads, Bonnie. So sometimes I desire to see what I see outside in Kenya. But even the most basic things, like the garbage disposal in Kenya, it's a challenge. You go to Nairobi, some of the places, Nairobi is very, very, very beautiful, but the trash disposal is not that good. Some places are smelling. Sometimes it's very dirty. The basic things, we have not addressed the basic things. So it is a high time we start doing away with leaders who just think about themselves. Those who say that Raila Odinga is a liberator. This is someone who criticizes everything the government tries to do when he is outside the government. But the moment he joins that government, he will not see any evil. He will not say anything wrong about that government. Neither will he try to address those problems. Corruption, I can tell you, it will not end or even reduce because Raila Odinga and his team has joined the government of William Ruto. In fact, corruption will increase. Who will help us? Someone who has been ranked second, Boni, in the whole world as the most corrupt president, second most corrupt president in the whole world, and first in Africa, cannot be good to be the leader of Kenya. And there is nothing we can do to change even that perception out there. Someone who has not stood for good governance cannot change overnight. So there is nothing we can do to change the leadership style of Ruto. So Mzalendo, I was saying it is the high time that we as Kenyans, we put our tribalism aside. We stop seeing ourselves as this is a Kikuyu, this is a Luo, this is a Kaba, this is a Kalenjin, because that is why these people have been able to take us for a ride. I have seen someone here, even when I'm making submission, is saying, Boro, your accent betray you. Uchungu wacha, you voted for Ruto, not Raila. I mean, because we perceive each other based on the tribes where we come from. But until when we come from that corner of tribalism and we start looking at what is wrong with our country, why have we been voting the most corrupt people? Ruto is a billionaire, but he cannot account for how he has worked to be that, not even a billionaire. He might be more than a billionaire, but he cannot account how he became rich the way he is. He's not just rich, he's wealthy. Raila Odinga is a billionaire, extremely rich. And you know very well, some of his money he acquired through making deals with the government. If you want me to stop maandamano, what are you going to give me? I am going to make this government, this country ungovernable. But when he is called aside and they make a deal with the government, he joins the government and everything turns to be good, as white as snow. Those are the kind of people we say, oh, these are liberators, freedom fighters, father of democracy. Nothing. They're just fighting for themselves. So Mzalendo, I think it's the high time we start thinking as Kenyans, how do we end this hypocrisy of our leaders? William Ruto, you have seen on the video you have put there, said that there is no way he can bring in opposition to the government because he wants to have a strong opposition. But what has he done right now? They say one thing, but they do the other. So those are the things that should tell us we are on our own, and it would be a very big mistake if we vote for the same people. That, we should not vote for our oppressors to continue oppressing us. If Raila Odinga is very serious, and he meant what he said when he was doing campaign, Mzalendo, I am proposing we revisit the manifesto of ODM. We bring it on the table. And now we start telling Kenyans to start demanding for the things that he said he would do if he is the president of Kenya. Because right now, they're having that broad-based government. They have been having it for some time now. And one of the things people should start asking is 6,000. He said it's possible. Now, because they are working as brothers with brother William, they should sit down. He should give William the formula and where to get the money and start giving Kenyans 6 million. He should start there. Mzalendo.
I think you are so right. You are so right. You're on point that we need